All right, today we're checking out the Tuttio Soleil 01 electric mini bike. Okay, so this company reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and the bike that caught my interest was the Tuttio Soleil. I noticed that it resembled a model called the Kugu Wish, which is a budget electric mini bike that a couple people on YouTube were asking me to review. I thought maybe this is sort of similar, and now we're gonna do an unboxing. Let's just cut to a montage right about now. I'm really excited about this bike. There's a couple of people who commented on the channel. They wanted me to review the Kugu Wish, which is, I think, what this originally was. So this is kind of a rebranded Kugu. I think what they did was change the controller tune, so it has a little bit more power, and I think that's about it. I think everything else is the same. Now, this bike is available on Amazon, which is pretty sweet, and the price is, right now, I think about $1,300. A pretty good deal once we go over all the features. When we unboxed this thing, we were really impressed with just, number one, how it looks. Obviously, the black and orange colorway is something that I enjoy personally, but it's actually a really clean look to it. I think nothing about this felt cheap when we unboxed it. Now, obviously, upon closer inspection, maybe the welds aren't that great. Maybe the frame looks a little bit, I don't know, budget, but overall, it's actually pretty impressive for what you get. The unboxing process was really simple. We put the front wheel on, obviously put the handlebars on, the fenders, and that was pretty much it. I think the only thing that we were kind of confused about was the pegs and installing the pegs. I don't think we saw a diagram on how to install them, so we kind of had to look at some pictures to figure out how to install the brackets, but it wasn't that difficult. So yeah, unboxing process was great. So now let's just go over all the features. Tuttio Soleil sports a sleek, orange and black design and weighs in at 105 pounds. The bike features a moto-style seat with quick release, making it both comfortable and convenient. The right-mounted display with key ignition adds a layer of security, and the adjustable kickstand is a nice touch. However, the front and rear fenders feel flimsy and don't quite match the quality of the other parts of the bike. And the 14-inch front and 12-inch rear knobby tires are a typical mini bike setup, ideal for off-road riding. The Soleil is powered by a 1,500-watt rated, 3,000-watt peak mid-drive motor, paired with a 48-volt, 21-amp-hour removable battery. This setup delivers a top speed of over 30 miles per hour and a range of up to 45 miles, depending on power level and riding conditions. The 3 speed modes don't provide much versatility, with Mode 1 and 2 virtually identical and Mode 3 being a little too powerful. However, this can be reprogrammed through the 48-volt, 70-amp far driver controller and a Bluetooth dongle. This allows for customization, making it a solid option for experienced riders. The hydraulic front suspension fork and rear monoshock work together to absorb bumps and provide a smooth ride. The Moto-style seat adds to the overall comfort, making long rides more enjoyable, and the Moto brakes offer reliable stopping power, adding to the bike's safety profile, especially since Mode 3 and the 60-tooth sprocket make it easy to pop wheelies. This also makes it extremely fun for thrill seekers. So the front wheel utilizes a 14 by 2.5-inch knobby tire. These tires do feel kind of cheap, but they're decent, especially if you're going to use this off-road. The orange rim is a nice touch, moto-style brakes, and a really thick rotor over here. So yeah, I'm really impressed that it came with this stock. I wasn't expecting heavy-duty brakes at all. I was expecting probably mountain bike brakes. We have the included front fender, which is a little bit weak, to be honest. So this thing is definitely going to flap around It's not like a thick plastic. This could have been probably a little bit better. You do have the hydraulic front suspension fork, which is really nice. I believe this has a travel distance of about 6 inches. You got the orange stanchions, which are nice. So you have the typical mini bike style handlebars, a little bit of a rise. You do get this faux pro taper bar pad. I think the foam diameter is a little bit too big, so it just kind of rolls around. So it does say that you can use DOT3 or DOT4 brake fluid. You got this rubber hand grip. I'll probably replace this probably with pro tapers. So over here you have the right mounted LCD display. It's black and white. Basically you're just going to be looking at your battery level, your speedometer, and your mode settings. You also have the key ignition, which is nice. What really gives this bike its sleek looks, I think, is its moto style saddle seat. The long saddle seat actually makes this accessible to a wide range of riders, different heights and different weights. It's actually really comfortable too. It feels like there's a lot of cushioning. To remove the saddle seat is actually really simple. You have this twist knob over here and you just turn it, and it's actually a bolt and pops off. And the seat comes off just like that. And now you have access to the battery. The charge port is located right here. And you just lift that up and then you plug in your charger. So it's only 48 volts. It's only 21 amp hours, but that's actually not bad, especially for kind of like a budget bike. Maybe you can't afford a Sur-Ron or something like that. Maybe you can't afford to upgrade a Razor. This is actually a decent option, and 48 volts is pretty decent, especially when you have like a mid-drive motor and a large sprocket like this bike does. I believe this battery is removable. I actually haven't tried this yet. Squeeze that, and then yeah, the battery just pops out. Tiny 48 volt 21 amp hour battery. You could definitely probably mod it to get more amp hours. Yeah, we'll take measurements of this. It might be kind of a cool mod to get a custom battery. That might be fun. And then to put it back in, you just plug this in, and then it just drops down like that. Push the handle down, take this bar, squeeze it together, and until it locks in. And then you just turn the knob to secure it. Pop the seat back on, and then turn your twisty knob to tighten it. Yeah, and you are good to go. Next, we have this adjustable kickstand. Looks like you can adjust the kickstand by removing these bolts over here. Over here is a really large 60-tooth sprocket. So this is what's going to give this bike tons of torque, right? This is what's going to make this bike really easy to wheelie. Over here, we have the rear monoshock. I don't know the actual spring rate, but it feels good for my weight, and it is adjustable if you want to change the preload. Here's a look at the rear hydraulic brake. You got the pegs over here. I think this is the best feature of the Tuttio. This is a 48 volt 70 amp far driver controller. In the assembly video, I actually attached a Bluetooth dongle that I got from Iconic Cycles. I'll put a link in the description. If you get that dongle, you could plug it into this far driver and adjust the settings, which is actually not that hard. And I'll show you guys in a second what that does to the bike. Basically, that unlocks the bike, which is an awesome feature for something that's sort of like a budget Amazon bike. So yeah, I'm really impressed that they come with far driver controllers. Of course, it's rated for 48 volts. This thing says it can go past 30 miles per hour. We'll test it out, see if it actually does that. Yeah, if you can get that much power with just 48 volts, I think that's all you need. And adjusting some settings in the controller. The left-hand brake did have a brake sensor. So in the assembly video, I think you guys saw me remove the brake sensor, and I actually just detached it from the far driver controller. And that's because I typically don't like the motor cutoff when you brake. I like to modulate that just with the calipers and no electronic cutoff. So that's the reason I did that. And the last thing I did was install this light bar. I'll put a link in the description, but this is something that you could just get on Amazon. And it actually works really well with the bike, to be honest. And it's super bright. So basically all you have to do is download this far driver app, and you'll see that the bike is visible. And all you have to do is connect to it. We're connected, and then you go to, on the bottom, the PARAS settings, the parameters, and all you really have to do is mess with these 3-speed parameters. So on this window, you'll see that the gear high power output 100%, that's basically mode 3, and gear high speed 29%. Is also related to mode 3. That basically gives you like full power on mode 3, and like I said, it was just a little bit too harsh. So what I'm going to drop it down to is about 79 right there, 79%. And then gear high speed will drop to like 25. And then we'll hit save. We'll save controller data, hit yes. And basically those settings are saved. So that's the only thing I'm going to change. If you don't know anything about far driver controllers, hit up Ryan Goodyear from Iconic. He has a Facebook page that I'll put a link in the description to, and you can have more questions about the parameters, but we're going to do this for now. I think this will make the bike feel just a little bit easier to control on mode 3. Let's just do like a parking lot first ride right here, and then we'll do something that goes around the parking lot a little bit more. Okay, like I said, really comfortable on this bike. Obviously, I'm a short rider, about 5'5", 150 pounds, so something like this probably looks good on me. If you're a bigger rider, I think you'll be fine. I think once you get over like 6'2", 6'3", it might be a little bit cramped for you, but that's with all mini bikes. But yeah, this feels really comfortable for me. I think if you're getting this for your kids, I think they'll love it. I think it'll be perfect. So yeah, let's start with mode 1. And yeah, very tame, very smooth throttle. You know, I'm pumping the throttle pretty hard and really not doing much, and this is actually good for beginners, just to get a feel of the bike. Really easy to control, really easy to maneuver. Yeah, I like it. I feel like it is making some noises in the frame. I don't know what that is. But otherwise, not bad. All right, I'm going to bump it up to mode 2. Get a little bit more, but it's not actually a big variation from 1. So I'd say mode 2 is fine for beginners as well. It's very, very subtle. Not bad. Mode 3, here we go. Yeah, way more power. Again, it's not at 100%, so it's just a little bit easier to control. Easy to wheelie, obviously, lots of torque. Woo! But again, you can adjust it, you know, depending on how experienced you are. If you're an experienced stunt rider, obviously, you could probably wheelie this on any tune. But if you're just practicing, if you just want to learn how to wheelie, I think this is, you know, kind of a good option to do that. So we could test the brakes out. It's like the tires are just disintegrating. Pretty budget tires, but the brakes are nice. I mean, you could definitely do a controlled skid, but you're definitely gonna wear out the tires. Let's take the Tuttio around this little parking lot. Yeah, this thing handles so nice. So smooth. Really easy to maneuver. Woohoo! Suspension doing its thing. Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, this thing rips. I don't know how fast I'm going, but woo-hoo. Wow, so much power. Loving it, loving it. Woo! Yeah. Handles the grass like nothing. Yeah, the suspension is so nice. It's like really dialed in. So comfortable. I mean, if you take this on the trails, it'd be perfect. Oh my God. I'm really impressed with this little bike. All right, first impressions with the Tuttio Soleil 01. Man, this thing is pretty amazing for the price. About 1,300 bucks on Amazon. I mean, come on. Like, the ability to program it, it's unlocked with the Bluetooth dongle. The performance on 48 volts. This is going to be accessible to so many people who can't afford a Sur-Ron, can't afford a Talaria, can't afford a Razor with like upgraded kit or custom batteries or anything like that. If you just want like some thrills for cheap and you want that mid-drive feeling, it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. I have no complaints, to be honest. So yeah, Tuttio Soleil 01, check it out. Link in the description. I think I have a promo code for this as well. Definitely pick this thing up and pick up that Bluetooth dongle from Iconic Cycles. Promo code RunPlayBack5. So here's what we like. The bike has lots of power off the line, making it perfect for stunt riders or those who want to learn wheelies. The suspension system, particularly the rear monoshock and moto seat, makes for an extremely comfortable ride. And the stock bar driver controller makes it a highly customizable bike for experienced riders. But here's some things to consider. The 48-volt setup might feel a bit tame for seasoned e-bike riders looking for more power. The front and rear fenders are flimsy and don't match the quality of other parts of the bike, and tall riders might find the bike too small and cramped to be comfortable. Overall, the Tuttio Soleil 01 electric mini bike is a solid choice for those seeking an affordable, powerful, and customizable ride. While it has some drawbacks, such as the quality of the fenders and the potential size issues for taller riders, its overall performance, comfort, and customizability make it a compelling option for both beginners and experienced riders. So, what do you think of the Tuttio Soleil 01? Is it the budget mini bike you've been searching for, or do 48 volts make you think twice? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.